Hi everybody. So, continuing my extemporaneous video series where I try to make sense of this modern world and things that are really confusing about it, today I wanted to talk a little bit about content and some thoughts that I have on it. So, so I'm really weirded out by this idea of just like content for content's sake. Like, some people will talk about, I don't know, like I've read a couple comments of people justifying like 6-hour video essays or whatever, because they could be like, and they say that, oh yeah, like I started doing chores and then I like tuned it out for a bit and then I came back and it was like still the same video. And I don't know, like I really something that I really pride myself on, generally speaking, is being really specific with the words that I say. And to think that I could like put a whole bunch of effort into, if I made something like a really highly produced video essay, I don't know, like I feel like I would be a little bit insulted by that attitude, but that is like it's definitely not an uncommon attitude in this modern internet. And I think another great example to point to is like Twitch channels, which also really elude me. Back in the day, I used to. There were a couple like Twitch streamers where between classes or something, I would just like sit and just idly watch them or whatever. And I got like kind of into the channel like culture or whatever, and it definitely like was really fun, but also like I don't know. I think a big I'm very weirded out by parasociality. That's something that really just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, just in general. Like the whole everything about it, really, of having like a media personality who like you are kind of encouraged to like act like they're sort of like your friend in a way. Um, and I say that like I don't know, like I like will get into like watching clips from like a Twitch streamer or whatever, and then start like having dreams where I talk to them. Um, that weirds me out too, because like I think about like when I wake up from that dream, I think about like, oh my god, like it would be so embarrassing if the streamer ever found out. If like the I don't know if like the one thing that the streamer knew about me is that I like had a dream about them, just running into them in the grocery store or something like that. I don't know. Um, yeah, but it's all very strange. I really I don't know. I definitely like personally I really like talking. Um, I I love the sound of my own voice, and I like to be on a stage when I have something to really that I feel confident that I can contribute or whatever. But it definitely does feel like it's like a two-way street sort of, and like when I like I've definitely entertained the idea of like becoming a Twitch streamer, but I feel kind of turned off of it because I don't really necessarily like um, I feel like I don't have very much respect for the medium. Like I don't have very much respect for the work of like being a Twitch streamer. And I realize that there is like a whole lot that can go into it. There's like the talent of setting up like the technicals or whatever, and like the lighting. Um, Obviously, you can see I'm an expert in that. Um, and and then there's a talent in just continuously talking about something or whatever. There's talents in finding new and really creative stuff to just keep things lively or whatever. And there definitely are Twitch streamers who like minute to minute, they're constantly like really giving it like 100%, and just being like really really, like anybody can tune in for any amount of time and still like get, like really like get a lot out of the experience. Um, and it's really impressive. But I think about like I don't know. Maybe the thing that I'm actually identifying is that like I don't have respect for I guess like entry level, sort of like the entry level streamer stuff or whatever, of just like somebody. I don't know, just like talking to a camera for 6 hours, because I feel like I would be very boring, and I feel like anybody who would want to tune into me and watch that would be like someone with poor taste, sort of. So I think about like that relationship between like, like a me as a creator and like my beginner audience, and how like adversarial that would be, and I'm like, that's not probably shouldn't do that kind of thing. But but regardless, like people still get over that hurdle or whatever. I guess you kind of have to be passionate about it, and it's obviously something I'm not really passionate about. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I also guess I want to touch on uh, background. Yeah, back to background noise or whatever. Um, yeah, it's really complicated. I guess my feelings are very mixed because I did grow up having like the radio on, idly like having news radio on in the background, and I definitely found an appeal in that that a lot of other people definitely don't. Um, but I will also say that there's something to the idea that like that news media is actually really important. Like when you do tune in or whatever, what you get out of that is like very substantial, where it's like something real happening in the world, and it's a story that somebody worked really hard on, and that a lot of editors and people and publishers and stuff like fact checked and everything. Where if it's just some 6 hour video essay where somebody's like summarizing a Wikipedia article or some other Wikipedia article, and then maybe like sourcing some Reddit post or whatever, um, that content is a lot less like important or whatever. So if you're tuning in and out, then like you're not really gonna get very much out of the experience, even when you are paying attention. And I definitely do have contempt for that kind of um, that kind of vibe. But I don't know. It's all very confusing, and I don't know. I think I might need to in order to properly like cement my opinions on this. I feel like I'll probably need to like take a physical book and like read it while on a bus or something, and I don't know. Um, Maybe that will cure me of contentitis or whatever. Um, I think that's the end of this ramble for today. But thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.